Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? We're back again with a community corner episode 7. Can't believe I've done 7 of these already. Shout out to the guys coming into the chat now. It's SVD on the mic, SB Design Works, aka the design guy. And today's episode is actually going to be a special one, and one I guess that I wanted to have for a while. I'm gonna have Harthur from actually I'm gonna find out where it's from, but if you've been living on the rock, like you wouldn't have seen his amazing poster work for that he's done for Regen 2024. He's also done like the overlays and things as well. So I've seen, so I'm gonna get him on shortly, but before I get him on, I'm still working with this bloody thing. What I'm gonna do, we have a few public service announcements. So first one we have is I really should have set this up beforehand. Like I got back from work late and it was just a bit of a mad one setting up, but we're in there, man. We're in there, man. So first of all, we have the dojo night coming up soon, November the 9th, at Birmingham Belong. Street Fighter 6 tournament. There will be other games there as well. There'll be Tekken casuals and setups and things like that. Sign up for that. Start.gg/dojo night. Secondly, we have Rival Scenes 2024. Shout out to the guys, the SFO guys. That is November 23rd and 24th. We have Tekken and Guilty Gear on the 23rd and Street Fighter 6 on the 24th. So if you've not signed up to there, sign up to there. You can go to start.gg/Rival Scenes 2024. We also have another tournament. Shout out to the guys up in Scotland, Neutral Mania 2. That has quite a few games as well. We've got Granblue, Guilty Gear, Tekken, Street Fighter 6, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's looking pretty healthy right now. Just sign up to that when you can. That is start.gg/Neutral Mania 2. I ain't even got the tab up to promote my own stuff, but you can see the plush toys. These are mine, littlemilobooks.com. You're going to hear more about that at the end of the show. But for now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get our guest on to pretty much right about now. So what I'm going to do is switch here and welcome our guest for today's episode, Harthur.
Nice to meet you, man. I mean,
nice to meet you.
2 minutes ago. But nice to be on. Thanks so much for having me, man.
No, thank you, man. First of all, I appreciate your time coming on to the show and stuff. How's your day been today so far? Actually,
my day's been all fun. Personally, it's been a quiet one. I've just ordered every single one of the relevant posters from the Regen poster website, so that's coming in the mail Thursday and Friday. So today I was just working my show reel. So it's been a nice quiet one. Got a bit of gym session in. So life is good.
That's good, man. That's good to hear. That's good to
yourself, man.
Yeah, just busy at work today. Just like doing a bit of video editing and stuff because I work full time as well. So just doing a bit of video editing for one of our clients, and then ended up doing some presentation design and ended up having to leave late. So then, which meant I got back home late, which meant I set this up late. But we're on time. So
you got home, you're like throwing everything. You're all smear frame.
Just threw everything around, and I was like, "Damn it, let's go." But I guess for those that don't really know who you are, and I guess like for me, I didn't really know who you were until I'd say 10 minutes ago. Exactly. So just let the people know who you are. Where you from, and just go from there, really.
Of course, man. So I'm Harthur. That's my tag / nickname, whatever, that my friends have called me for like over a decade. I am an editor, motion designer, graphic designer too now, and sound designer based in London, North London right now, but probably somewhere else in the future. Fair. And I did all the graphic work essentially. For Regen 2024, past like the logo being designed by our previous head graphic designer, Zach or Zaphael. I did every overlay, every stinger, every single one of the 72 movie poster recreations, and the trailer, and anything and everything else.
A lot of work, and I say I'm gonna go for the website and no, the website down now actually.
I can put it back up. If you just give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, no rush.
Is,
We can get to that. We can get to that. I was gonna show
Just in
some
the
of the
meantime.
posters and stuff as well, but no.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, so I guess like my first. Well, no, first I have to give you props again for the amount of work that you put in for obviously Regen 2024. So I guess my first question would be like, what is your history in regards to the fighting game community? So like, when did you get involved? Was it a particular game that started you off, or how did you get involved?
My history is a bit weird, right? I think I had the sort of classic Smasher introduction because I'm mainly based around Smash.
Yeah.
The furthest I was going to do was I was going to make a trailer for a Tekken tournament that was taking place in Pakistan, which would have been huge because it's fucking it's the fucking centerpiece of Tekken now.
Yeah. Of course.
But like sorry, I'm just typing the
no worries,
the authentication code. So
I should have,
I don't get banned for life.
It went this not sign ups, the posters. It was yesterday. Was it closed?
Yeah. It was yesterday, and I didn't want to keep the website open and have people order a poster that wasn't ordered. I even ordered spares just in case, but regardless. So I had the pretty classic Smasher introduction where it's like you play with a friend back in the day, like at your home when you're like maybe 8, 9 years old or something like that. For me, it was every single Saturday I would go to a tennis club with this boy called Chris, who was like maybe 20 minutes walk away from my place. And I would only go to that tennis club because he had a GameCube at home, right? And I wanted to play that fucking game, man. I wanted to fucking see what it is. Okay to swear, right?
Yeah. You're good, man. Okay. You're good, man.
I wanted to see like a video game in full live screen, dude. Like full screen. It was inconceivable. First time I ever saw that GameCube start up. I see Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw an opening cutscene, let alone like a console game before. I was losing my mind, especially the bit where it's like unbelievable. I've sent you the password for the website, by the way, as you can browse through them now.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm playing versus Chris like every Saturday, having the time of my life playing Melee. We're shitting about. We don't know anything. We're 8, 9 years old, and I still don't know that the Wii has even come out, let alone Brawl as well. And I keep losing to his damn Kirby because he keeps jumping up and he keeps doing the rock move. I'm like, well, how the fuck do I beat this? And I started calling it the Chris, right? Which is the earliest fighting game lingo I ever was introduced to, but I made it myself, as opposed to like this sort of like people calling like Kirby jumping off the edge and like sucking someone in and then throwing them out the sucking cock. The Chris was the down B. The Chris was the down B. So eventually I go to Blockbuster when that still existed, and I see Brawl. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, there's a whole new Smash Brothers game. There's Lucario in that shit. There's Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm gonna lose my mind. I didn't know who Snake was at the time. But I get that. I rent it. And for some reason, and I swear this is real, right? You know when you're unlocking characters in Brawl, and it's like first you unlock Ness. Ness is there every single time. And second is meant to be Marth. I feel like this is a Blockbuster rental thing for some reason. I got Sonic second, and I haven't seen it replicated anywhere else. You're meant to get him from like Subspace or playing like 2,000 battles or some shit like that. I got him second, and then every other time I saw Marth in second place. I'm like, what is going on? So that got me like playing Smash, and I was like so into it. And then time moved on. I'm going into year 7, year 8. It's no longer cool to play Nintendo. Like, it's fucking out. You'll get exiled, and I was conscious of this. Luckily, I had an Xbox 360 like from like year 6 or something, because I really wanted to play Minecraft, and I didn't have a functioning laptop that would like let me do it. So I tapped into that Xbox Live Arcade, and I got Minecraft. I got like Castle Crashes, all stuff that's like under Peggy 12, because I wasn't 12 at the time. My parents are very strict. They were very strict on these Peggy ratings, man.
Wow. So you're instantly showing You know when people say, "Oh, you're showing your age," you're showing the
Yeah.
opposite.
Like
Age
I'm still sort of baby here. I'm 23
yeah, I say
specifically,
obviously
but
just before off camera is like, I'm
yeah.
definitely one of the old heads. Unfortunately. Yeah, but carry on, no, bro. Carry on, man.
Yeah. So at that point in time, I was an Xbox kid, right? I was on my fucking Halo shit. I begged on my hands and knees to like get into Halo, and because of that, I was just like, I was an FPS little fucking demon, dude. So it took a long time to actually find the FGC essentially, because my introduction was one of my old school friends from like year 5, year 6 saying like, you got to see this. There's a new Super Smash Bros. I'm like, what do you mean? And this is inconceivable because I'm playing fucking Black Ops 2 every fucking night with my mates or whatever. It's like year 8, year 9. We're not even moving on to fucking COD Ghost because that game fucking sucks, man. But he's like, you got to watch all these trailers, dude. There's so many new characters. There's a Wii Fit Trainer. I'm like, there's the Wii Fit Trainer. What the fuck are you talking about? They're like, they got fucking Villager and shit. They got Mega Man. I'm like, Mega Man? I'm going to pretend I know who that is. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Wow.
So I'm watching all these trailers. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, this seems fucking sick. And I'm like, I'm keeping this a secret from my fucking friends at school. Because, like, I can't be seen hanging out with Pikachu, dude, behind the fucking behind the sheds, man. Or I'm gonna get harassed. And I'm just like, I'm watching all these fucking trailers, and it's like this shit's coming out like October 11th or something like that, like 2014. I'm like, fuck, man. Let me get a Wii U.
Yeah, I think I got one at the time as well, and it didn't really last too long, to be honest. But I got my usage out of it though. Wonderful
My
101.
shit's yeah, exactly, dude. It's got that fucking killer fucking lineup. Obviously, it's all on the Switch now, but like honestly, I fuck with that Wii U, man. I fuck with that Fisher Price little gamepad, dude.
Yeah, I'm a Nintendo guy. Like I'm a Nintendo guy, so there's always gonna be an affinity towards them, to be honest. So
amen, man. They just cook up weird shit, and you can't look away for some reason. It's like a car crash in motion. But like at least for the Wii U, that was. So I buy that Wii U, and fucking Smash 4 was the first game I ever pre-ordered, and I'm just playing it casually, right? Like I bought the 3DS version as well, like to play with my sibling, the run-up, because my friend brought his fucking 3DS one time around because there was a staggered release of like the 3DS and then the Smash 4 of the Wii U version. So like I find out as well, like you get Mewtwo for free if you have both of them. I'm like, fuck, let me tap in. You get a CD as well. I got the CD. I'm in my sibling's room right now because my light's busted in mine. But I've still got that fucking like CD of like all the music and stuff, which it looks amazing. So like my friend came around that one time, showed me what it looks like. I'm like, okay, there's no debate. I need to get this. Like I just have to like honor my young self and to play with some old school friends. It comes out finally. I bring that fucking Wii U around my fucking old school friends, like back in like year 9 or whatever, like school friends from like year 6 and below, while I'm in year 9, because we're like, we have to tap in. There's custom moves. Fucking, I'm playing older Ike now. Like, what the fuck is going on? We gotta unlock all these characters, dude. And we're having a great fucking time. And I didn't even know that like you could get good at Smash yet, other than my friend's older brother just fucking whooping my ass with Captain Falcon, dude. I was just like, oh, fuck, dude, he keeps fucking knocking me off the edge. I can't get away. I'm spamming down B as Pika, dude.
By the time you're still like in the quote unquote casual phase, just still playing, not really seriously just yet.
And the weird thing is
where you got serious. Where like
so I'll get into this. Right? So I was playing with my best mate from like year 6 and below, guy called Jacob, amazing guy, fucking whiz at maths and fucking computer science now. In the past, we had been fiercely competitive from Mario Strikers Charge Football, Killer Game, and Mario Kart Wii. We were on Inside Drifting before we even knew what it was, for example. There was a point in time where I held the fucking DK Mountain continental record is like Baby Luigi. I was fierce. I wanted this shit, and I was tapped in. But for some reason, like because we hadn't been introduced to any like actual fighting or like tournaments like in Smash, we had no reason to get better other than just like beating each other. And we didn't even care too much about that because we were having fun with our items, man. There's a lot of items and a lot of fucking fun to be had. And eventually, somewhere down the line, it's like a few months since it releases, and I see like a little fucking YouTube video pop up on my feed, and it says like Ryu's OP. I'm like, how is he OP? Because like these new characters were getting fucking, just the DLC characters were being popped in, like Ryu, Roy, Lucas, Mewtwo, Bayo, Cloud, Corrin hadn't even come out yet, man. And I was watching this video, I was like, did he just send that motherfucker downwards in the air? Somehow I'd never seen like a spike. I was like, what the fuck was that? It was a video by Little Z, I remember. And I was like, holy shit, like this guy's fucking sick. He was just doing fucking like jab, jab, down tilt, true input, sure you. I was like, this is blowing my fucking mind, man. I was calling that the money combo and everything, dude. And fucking, I was just watching all these fucking videos. I was like, holy shit, he's sending people down in the fucking air. You can combo people? Oh, you can read an air dodge? I'm learning this terminology bit by bit, like what a read is and stuff. I started watching Alpha Red after I finished binging all of Little Z's videos where it's like Roy is OP, like blah, blah, blah. And I moved on to the how to play like X Person 101. It's just fucking like meme montages. It's 2014, 2015. Like it's we called that highbrow back in the day. And I'm like, I'm learning like all these fucking things. I'm like, holy shit, like up air does that, like back air sends you off, like Lucas back air spikes. I'm like, wow. And then I'm watching like a different Alfred video where it's like the A Story for Glory series, and he says the word tech at one point in time. I'm like, what is that? And I look up like, what is tech Super Smash Bros? Smash Bros wiki comes up, and it's like, here's the glossary of every single Smash term.
All the terminologies.
I'm reading through that shit for hours. I'm like, this is what a tech is. Oh, when it goes downwards, that's a meteor. And then it's like, not to be confused with a spike. I'm like, what's a spike? And then it's like, a spike is exclusive to Melee. And I'm like, what? Because I played Melee before. And then it's like, this is what a wave dash is. So I'm like, that sounds like a crazy word. I look up wave dash. I see a motherfucker moving around on SSBM tutorials. I'm like, this is a whole different thing. This is a whole different,
completely different level to where you were, and I guess more like obviously
So all of a sudden my goal was to make a really good meme montage where I had like really funny jokes and really fucking killer combos. So I start learning how to edit, and I start focusing like how does Smash Bros work. And it was impossible for me to like actually play the game online. I had 500 kilobytes download fucking speed, dude. I had that sweet 600 ping, dude. It wasn't fucking for glory. It was like 4 frames, like fucking online, dude. It was a whole slideshow, man. And people would just fucking quit out on me, and I don't blame them. So the only thing I had was the CPUs. My younger sibling, who didn't fucking, they were like, I want to say they were like 9 years old at the time. They couldn't comprehend like the idea of like Smash Bros or whatever. And I'm not going to say that they should have at that age either.
Of course.
So I was just basically playing those fucking like CPUs, making custom stages where it's like a big fucking box, letting them hit me over and over so I could like practice techniques for walls, for ceilings, for floors, all that shit. And slowly I was building up my knowledge of Smash Brothers, and then building up my editing, which was so fucking bad at the time. But you always got to start from somewhere.
Of course.
The video that I made like from, I want to say 2017, 2018, and like the first fucking YouTube like video I ever published. Of course that shit's unlisted. Of course that shit's unlisted.
Of course. But as you say, you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. So that essentially was where it all started from.
Design in terms of like design, and so I guess so it literally just came off wanting to create a meme video, and that's where you guys
that's where it all came from. Obviously there's different seeks from there, such as like during my GCSEs, that's when I was like, okay, like I'm watching more Melee now. I'm learning who the fucking 5 gods are. I got my friend Bug, like I was like, you gotta watch this fucking documentary, man. It's fucking hours long. It's about Super Smash Bros. He's like, why would I give a fuck? He watches that shit. He's like, ooh, I'm not gonna play, but like, ooh, that was juicy, man.
Nice. So then, as you say, you start working on. You've done your first video now, and then what happens after that? Do you just continue? I'm gonna make more videos, and you start learning
It
more? And I
was
guess how did you start learning? Was it just like YouTube tutorials and stuff, or did you
so the
kind of
thing is,
formal training like beforehand?
dog, I'm way too ADHD, man. I can't follow tutorial for shit, man. Straight up, I was in there bashing my head against a wall. You know keyframes, right? You have
Yeah,
say frame 1 and you have a rectangle here, and then you
yeah,
go all the way to frame 6 and you
yeah,
want the rectangle to be there. You fucking
yeah,
press that keyframe button, go to frame
yeah,
6, you keyframe it, move it
and
there,
then
and it's
yeah,
going to automatically go there, right?
yeah,
That's all you have to do to have
yeah,
an animating thing. And
yeah,
if you want to do fucking like some text animation, maybe you plot like the text to be like 1 there, and then like 5
yeah.
frames like there, and
Time
then
like
like 5
that.
frames
Yeah,
like there.
yeah.
I was in that shit, animating every single fucking frame of the text, frame by frame. Because I didn't know how to
Oh,
keyframe,
about
man. I
keyframes,
didn't
yeah.
know what
Oh,
the
that's
buttons did, man. I was
yeah.
out there just putting fucking random
Oh,
filters
that's
in
fair.
until it felt right.
Yeah,
And it took me way too long to find out actually, oh, this is how you
yeah.
keyframe.
This is
Oh, this is how you
yeah,
motion track. Like I could have
yeah,
been saving myself fucking days, man.
yeah.
But
But
I
I
learned the
guess
hard way.
yeah, I think similar to like how I learned like Photoshop and things, for example. A lot of it
Mm,
was just trial and error. Like you get in, you start doing shit, and then it's like, okay, well, this does this and that does that, and then naturally
mm.
you kind of just, for me at least, that's how I generally learn. I
Yeah, yeah,
went to
yeah,
like
yeah,
I went to college and uni and all that good stuff, but at the same time, everything that I learned before uni was everything that I learned
yeah.
off my own back. It was just how do you do this, how do you do that, blah blah blah,
Mm.
and you kind of just pick up things and just learn over time, really. So that's
I was,
mad. So you start learning, and now you're
mm,
editing and you're doing things and stuff. Where I guess where do you get to the point where like you're like designing and doing more expansive work? Because obviously we've seen like some of the the overlays, and how do you get
mm.
into that side of things? Like, what is it?
So,
Just a desire to want to do more? Because I know for me as a
mm,
creative, I'm always like, there's so many avenues, there's so many branches that you can go down as a creative.
mm,
So was it like a natural thirst for, okay, I want to do this now, how do I do it? Let me just go and do it,
mm.
kind of thing.
So the way I ended up here, like of all places, is obviously I made my first like little Smash Bros. Meme montage. I shit the game, and the editing wasn't good. I knew that it wasn't going to be perfect, like to begin
Yeah.
with, but like eventually you look back on it a few months later, you're like, ooh, ooh, and it was when I was working in a little Turkish restaurant slash cafe. I just finished um my IB, essentially A levels.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like I'm following more people on Twitter now. Like I was just a little fucking baby. Like fucking I had
Mm.
like 2 followers, probably both of them bots. It's
Yeah.
cool. Like they're there for me. Like they'll like my
Mm.
tweets sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I'm starting to follow more people, and then like they're recommending me more people. It's like you follow fucking like Mango and like some other people. Because I was listening to like the Bad Melee podcast. I was getting the
Yeah.
Melee scene and like the Ultimate scene as
Yeah.
well. And like I was learning of like different names, and then all of a sudden like I get like a montage like recommended to me, and it's by
Mm.
Apathy Creates, who is an amazing designer. He's not too active now, but
Mm.
like just before Sora released, for example, for Ultimate, like he loves Kingdom Hearts, so he animated like Sora's command spell thing
Mm.
versus like a bunch of different like characters like Ganon, Steve, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All of them like individualized. He's fucking sick.
Mm.
But I get recommended his Mewtwo montage called Realize 2. I think it's Realize 2. And that was
Yeah.
the first moment where I was like, oh shit. So like you can be really stylish combo wise, which is what I was progressively aiming towards.
Yeah.
And you can also make it so visually stunning as well.
Mm.
Because I'd made a few like montages like versus my friends or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I had that Elgato, and it was like Smash Ultimate releases, and like we're all just playing and playing and playing, and I'm just getting like these day one combos versus
Yeah.
motherfuckers. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I just got that fucking Ganon down air, up air,
Yeah.
into down air, like oh shit.
Yeah.
But I was really trying to get like cool at the game,
Yeah.
because like no one wants to play melee, because the second you know how to like short hop laser as Falco, like casuals are tapping out. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. 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 Definitely.
So Ultimate's like the new shit. I'm playing it, and when I see Realize 2, I'm like, ooh, Like, let's harken back to that fucking idea that we had like years ago of let's make a really fucking sick meme montage video with good combos and good editing.
Yeah.
Let's shift the goalpost. Let's make it a really nicely designed montage, like visually stunning, synced with music, like to the goddamn teeth, sounds right and feels right.
Yeah.
And it also has to be one of the sickest combo videos for the character in the game. And essentially, I just build up to that. I'm learning how to do cinematics using the in-game camera, for example. Fun fact, what you need to do, I've got like a couple Joy-Cons on this desk. Damn. Okay, so like Joy-Cons, right? You have to click in the right stick. That activates the gyroscope in the game. And then you have to point the fucking thingy away from the axes that is always in the middle on Smash Ultimate, unless you use gyro controls. And then you have to have the fucking joystick go very, very slightly, like I'm talking this much. So you can get a nice slow-mo pan or track around the characters and stuff. So I'm learning how to do like speed ramping so that like the second you get like a nice like knee or something with Falcon, I'm main Falcon.
Of course.
It's like you get a nice knee, you want to transition to the next thing. You don't want it to be like a hard cut all the time. So it's like you get that nice knee, hard cut or like zoom in, fucking like have that shit like curving round, speed ramping, then speed out into like another fucking clip or whatever. And it gives it that nice flow essentially. So like I'm learning how to do that. There was, I don't know if it's like as common a thing like in the FGC, but it was really common during Smash 4 and at least earlier Smash Ultimate content crews, right? Where it's like essentially it would be a group of editors and a group of players. All within the same thing, and they would just want to make the sickest combo videos / montages, like known to man. So like the editors would handle the editing, and the players would just focus on getting all the clips. And then they fuse together, and you get stuff like DMG Alliance. You get shit like Fallen Error, Trigon, False Hope. There's so many out there. You can find like this graveyard of like Smash 4 videos that we thought was the absolute shit. You look up
I'm definitely gonna go back. I'm definitely gonna go back and look at
if you look up like AG1 Plus, he was essentially the one who changed everything. He made alongside a guy called Mubasaur, Eucred, Fatality. Oh fuck, I can't remember the others. But they made essentially the pivotal Captain Falcon montage called Relentless Flow in Smash 4. Then later they made Relentless Flow 2. And then later on into Ultimate, I want to say 2021, Advent and like a bunch of other Falcons release Relentless Flow 3, which is an unbelievable video. Like genuinely, like I think we reached possibly the peak of Smash like montage editing in the style that it went for.
At the time. That's pretty sick, because when you mention about obviously content crews, I feel like within like obviously Smash is still FGC, but in terms of like the more traditional games, say like a Street Fighter or a Tekken, it feels like, as far as I'm aware, it's more individuals that will create the combo videos and stuff. And it's not that kind of fusion together, which sounds really sick, because again, you can get like the best products because they have their expertise in this, the players have their expertise in that, and it's coming together. And that's really sick. Like I didn't know that was a thing actually, to be honest.
No, it's really sick. But I wanted to bridge that gap essentially. I was like, I want to be one of the sickest Captain Falcons in Smash Ultimate. And I want to be one of the best editors to do it as well. So I'm split, right? Like this shouldn't be right. But I felt and believed that it would give me an attitude that other people wouldn't have when it comes to editing. Because when it comes to the editing part of the montage, like if you are intrinsically interlinked with your main, as every single FGC character and player will be, right? Like eventually it gets to the point where like, say you're in SS6, right? Or like any previous like Street Fighter game, and you've always loved that man Ryu with the damn headband. Eventually, it gets to the point where like you see Ryu, and some sparks are flying. You get a better understanding in terms of like how he holds himself, just because of like all the animations, all the posing, all the art, all the concept art. For example, you know, like that one really good fucking like piece of concept art for Third Strike, where it's like Ken like just sort of going like that, like head up a little bit, but he's like sort of looking down at you. It's you get that distinct understanding of the character and what they stand for. And because of that, I was like, I want to make a montage that I think stands for Falcon as I view him at this current moment of time. And in 2021, I think I finally realized my initial goal of like making a damn good montage when I released a combo video called Envy, which had very sort of like, I only had 7 days to make it because it was for the, what was it for? It was for the recruitment test / challenge thingy contest for DMG Alliance, which I mentioned earlier. DMG was the highest rank content crew, essentially. Like it used to be sponsored by Renegades, for example, like that esports team. So like fucking like they were the shit. It had burgers, it had apathy. It had like so many top players like Tweak and stuff. So like if you got in, this is fucking Smash Valhalla, like as far as you're concerned. Like you are witnessing these pearly gates open to you and you get to put DMG in your fucking Twitter handle, man.
Yeah, then you made it basically.
Yeah, you've made it. Like you're in there for fucking life. Eventually your fucking name's gonna be in the fucking DMG video and it's gonna be like, you've reached it. Like I'm up there with fucking Scarfell. I'm up there with Tweak. I'm up there with fucking everybody who's ever made it into DMG, which is not many. It's not many. And like I was like, I need to make this fucking video because it's like we don't know when we're gonna have another shot of fucking DMG like tryouts essentially. So DMG says, okay, edit or play, right? Like here's a bunch of different clips that we have recorded and some cinematics as well. If you're an editor, use these. If you're a player, send your best fucking clips in, right? And like a nice like 1 to 2 minute video. And that's it. And I was like, well, that's not fair. Like I'm both, man. Like
You're
this
both.
is bullshit. Like I'm not gonna do 2 separate entries. And I was like, fuck it. Like I was already like tapping out of Smash Ultimate, like in like 2021 summer. I was having a big Minecraft phase, man. But on top of that, I was just like, I think I've achieved all the purposes that I want to in this game. Like Smash Ultimate's rigid. Like you can do your combos and all, but eventually you realize, oh no, like if you are at this percent, you can only do this move. And it comes into the real fun of it came from like trying to intertwine the hardest and rarest routes into each other. So essentially you were just hunting your fucking Moby Dick of combos like all the fucking time. Everyone had that one combo that they wanted. And like some people would fucking fight for it. I was one of those people to the point where people like, dude, are you gonna like if we play friendlies again, are you just gonna fucking go for that one thing? I'm like, no. But you better believe I was. You better believe I was trying to feed that one specific fucking neutral air dodge at like right after my third upper or some shit like that.
Definitely.
So like I'd already recorded and hit so many of the combos that I wanted, and I realized if I keep fucking like going for these last like 3 or 4 clips, one, I'm going to be spending so many hours just trying to find this one. And I also have to play in fucking like Smash Ultimate Online lag. It's not pretty, it's not fun, it's pure sludge. So like you're not moving the way you want to, which means you can't even react to like when the combo is going to happen. You just have to guess, right? So like it's all just guesswork and it's not fun. But I had all these combos and I was like, literally just slowly phasing out the game. I was posting less about it on Twitter, and I was going to less events. Not that there were many that I was going to be honest. But regardless, I was like, I got 7 days left to make this shit. I'm gonna just try and see it off. Worst comes to worst, like best possible outcome, I get into DMG, I make a video for them, be it like from my clips or from my editing, right? Worst comes to worst, I put out essentially my goodbye to Smash Ultimate.
You've still
and it's like something that I'm incredibly proud of. And I did my best within 7 days work because I haven't committed to actually making this montage because my love for the game just isn't there anymore. So that is the culmination of like the original end goal of like, I want to make a great combo video. And as it turns out, even though I broke all the rules in terms of like,
one or the other,
being, one or the other, the fact that I was the fusion of both put together, and I put out like what so many of the best Falcons, like from Bungalow, like one of the most stylish Falcons, taking the characters so fucking far, like it's unbelievable. He was like, straight up, like Harthur was so much my inspiration for Falcon. And I would consider like Envy, the combo video that I created over those 7 days, probably one of, if not, I'd say one of, just to stay humble, one of the
Yeah.
best like Captain Falcon montages like in the fucking game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you fuse the fact that like I did all the editing on top of that, with it being very graphic in terms of like white, red, and black. Like just keep
Yeah.
it simple. I'm
Yeah.
basically wearing that
Simple,
right
just
now.
clean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's simple, it's clean, and it works a Falcon like in general, right? It's furious, but at the same time, like it's clean, right? Because I would consider Falcon as like a he's such a weird one, right? Because he's like part ballerina and part the angriest man you've ever seen in your fucking life, right? Like you see that stomp, you know that shit,
Yeah.
like it's visceral. But you see
Yeah.
the upper, you're like, oh, he's taking classes, like oh shit.
Yeah.
And he has so many different fighting styles as well. I looked it up on fucking Smashboards because I was so interested. Like, where did all these different moves come from? He's doing everything from fucking Krav Maga to fucking Taekwondo, dude. Like he's a fucking fusion of everything. Regardless, I diverge. So essentially, like I made what I would consider a montage that represented Falcon as I saw him at that time. And I would say it's still very clean to this day. The minimal, like the very like powerful minimalism in the editing, just being silhouettes for the most part. With like a sort of like flashy like style, like redness involved.
Essentially like timeless kind of styles that don't fade.
Yeah.
There'll be certain trends and fads when with like everything and anything really, and it's like there'll be certain things that you can look back on and like, okay, that's dated because you can tell.
Thankfully we won't look back on this montage, or at least I hope we won't look back on this fucking montage in the same way that we do like Paris Hilton's outfits back in like 2006, man. Because I would feel really fucking sad for my younger self.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So
I'll bounce from the montage bit into basically saying this is what gave me the grounding and like wanting to actually pursue design, and where I've started to stray off of Smash Bros and into just design in general. One, before I even made that montage, I was obviously doing my montage in the meantime and doing my editing as well. Between making stupid little meme videos, I also made like a recreation of like Neon Genesis Evangelion's intro credits, whatever you want to call it, back in like 2020, like while I was starting to get known on Twitter, like when I went from like 0 followers and then like I want to say July, August 2020, I put out like 3 edits back to back of like a meme one, a sort of meme one that was like, dude, Falcon's up smash just don't work, bro. And like Neon Genesis Evangelion, that shit got me from like 0 followers to like 2,500 like on the spot. So I was like, damn, like I'm going from like nowhere to like everything. Let me continue this, like
just keep the momentum going and
let me keep the momentum, because like I want to put out fucking more videos. I want to edit and get recognized for my editing, because obviously as a fucking 0 follower thing, you just put that shit into the void. And even though you can feel good for yourself, you can be like, this is the best video I made yet, but when there's no one to fucking talk about it, it's just like okay, man,
it's still a level of like, you know, like, well, not even self gratification, but you want acceptance is not the right word, but at the same time, recognition. There you go, recognition.
Recognition. It's nice to at least be able to talk about it or get some reaction to it. Which, like, I've never made videos for other people, like because I'm like, oh dog, I'm insecure. Like, I want to make a video so everybody's gonna like it, as opposed to just like I want to put out what I want to make unless I'm being paid. And then when I put it out, I see the discussion, I see like the reception, and then that's interesting to me. Like essentially, like I want to see like how people felt about like this work, for example. Like I made like an edit essentially about my ex, like last year, like roughly around this time. Very heartfelt one. And like it was all shot within like Super Smash Bros. Melee, for example, because because we had like our roots in the Smash scene, and I wanted to make it true, and also just like I don't know, like I just wanted it to be abstract and true at the same time. So it's not like literally holding your hand saying like this is about love and loss and everything, as opposed to I just want to put it out, and people's general reactions was just like, this is beautiful, dog. Which is like all I was looking for. I wasn't looking for people to be like, oh my god, you're the goat, you're the goat. I don't give a fuck about that, man. Don't call me the goat, man. You don't know what I'm capable of.
So I guess like obviously you start that, and then how do you were you going to Regen events before? Obviously, because for me, I'm sure you're probably involved in the scene as you're saying that, but obviously, I haven't really came across your work this year.
Yeah.
So how do you get involved in this year's event? Like, as I say, have you been to like past ones in a kind of working capacity, or was it more just I'm going to play? How did you
So
find that?
essentially what happened was I had been to maybe 2 events, like before COVID, just 2 small ones in Cambridge, called PogChamp at the time. It's now named Tea Time, and run by GP, who's a Cambridge and Smash legend. You probably know him.
Yeah. Shout out to GP.
Yeah, shout out to GP, man. But like the first time I went, I was 16 or so. It was right after I watched the Smash documentary, and I just went in, got absolutely fucking rocked in Smash 4 friendlies by a dude playing on his 3DS, and the thumbstick was missing. What the fuck ever, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I even brought up the fucking Pocket Cloud and shit, and his fucking Greninja rocked me. He didn't even have a controller! And then I moved on to the Melee setups right after. Just got my shit rocked there for like fucking hours. Because the only person I've ever played against is fucking level 9 Fox CPU. Like, I didn't know what was going on there. But I was having fun. I was having fun, but the issue was like, I didn't have my driving license at the time because I was 16. And it was like half an hour away, like from fucking like 40 minutes from like where I lived. So I'd need to get my parents to like go there. And like, it was just inconvenient. So I just couldn't go until like literally like 2018, where I was able to go like one other time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I went a few times actually, because just before COVID hit, like in 2019, I got my driving license and I just frequented it until like COVID started. So I was known a little bit locally, like within like the 4 people in the Melee scene, and like I want to say like 5 or so people in the Ultimate scene, including people such as Bloom Forever. At that point in time, who would end up being an absolute fucking monster at the game. And all I knew him was the guy who rocked me in fucking friendlies as Bowser Jr. I fucking hate Bowser Jr. So like, what the fuck? He was like 12 at the time, dude. Not that I had like an ego, because I knew that I was just gonna get fucking dicked down, but like, god damn, that kid's good. So like, COVID happens, then I started getting like some notoriety, and some people are like, is that the dude from fucking PogChamp? Like some of the few, and they're like, that's fucking crazy. And I end up like making friends of like one of the people from PogChamp. Like literally the first game streamed that I was ever on, a guy called Jackster, who was fantastic at Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then 2021 hits. It's roughly April. I've got so many fucking assignments to do because it's first year uni. And I get hit up by Will Savage, and he says, yo, like, I've seen some of your works like on Twitter, like video wise, like, could you make a trailer for us? I'd made one trailer before at that time for an event called the Irish Big Smash Up, which was like an online tournament that would eventually be held in person. Because it's sort of like an invitational sort of thingy where it's like it's a qualifier. It's a qualifier. So I had experience of one single Smash trailer before. And then Wills is like, okay, we'll pay you, obviously. It's going to be part of like this circuit for Melee. It's going to have like Ultimate, and it's also going to have some PM in there as well. I'm like, that's game. So I just take it up because I'm like, fuck it. Like, let me just make another trailer. Like, let me just get some ins. And like, let me also just like flex my fucking bones. Like, see what I can do. Because I was still like new to the whole trailer game then.
I think like, obviously you're learning as well at the same time while you're doing it. So again, and I think for me, I always
getting paid for it too. It's the
of course. So so it's like, look, you may as well just do this. Just get it.
So that was for Regen Online in 2021. And like I give him a trailer. I was pretty satisfied with it at the time. Now I look back at it, I'm like, fucking hell. But of course you would.
That's naturally as creative. That's what we do. Like I tell you, there's some versus fighting posters that I look back on and I'm like, what was I even thinking there? But we don't need to go about.
You just got to take it in stride and sort of think of it in the same way that it's like mistakes you made like in your first relationship, where it's like, dog, what the fuck was I doing? Like, exactly. I get that I didn't understand how to kiss at the time, but what was that, man? All teeth, full teeth.
Exactly.
Just like, So like I give him the trailer. Like it goes through like a few like loops of like
revisions and stuff,
revision. Not too much, just like the main bit like to begin.
Of course.
It had my classic speed ramping, but that was like the most like one of the most prestigious at the times like trailers for a Smash UK event there's ever been, simply because it had like cinematic shots and stuff. Obviously I was very satisfied with it at the time. I included cinematics from all 3 of those damn games, Melee, Ultimate, and PM. You don't know how fucking nightmarish PM was to record, dude. My fucking laptop was only running at 23 frames. I was screen recording that shit and having to speed it up by 2.3 times. So like, you don't want to see the file sizes, man. That shit's fucked.
Oh god.
But regardless, at the end of like the process, like Will says like, do you want to get in a call with like me and the other Team Regen members, like so we can like talk about the trailer? I'm like, okay, cool. And then like he's like, I actually sort of lied to you. Like this isn't actually specifically about the trailer, but it's like with the trailer in mind. Like and like also like we'll make sure you get paid like right now, like in case you want like a little extra. Because they've always treated me well. And he's like, so me and the team have been chatting, and like we think you'd be a really good fit. Do you want to be part of Team Regen?
Yeah.
And I'm like, at that moment, straight up, I was like, I don't even know, because like I've only made like one trailer for these people. I haven't been to a single Regen event. I don't know the people at all. I've only like had a call or so like with Will's like once or twice. I'm like,
So
fuck.
obviously got a decision to make, and
but straight up, for some reason I was like, how could this be bad for me? And I just said like, I'm gonna learn so much, and like they're gonna like accommodate me for this as well. Like I'm gonna be introduced to a bunch of different things. I'm gonna make trailers or whatever, and like just make whatever they want me to make. So I just said like, yeah, I'm down. So immediately I just became a part of Team Regen, and the first thing I got to work on from there was like a stream transition for what would be Invasion 2021 that would take place in like, oh fuck, was it April or September? I want to say it was September. Yeah, it was September. So I made that stream transition. That shit lasted 5 seconds. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Oh wait, no. First thing I was doing was some stream transitions for Regen Online before eventually moving on to like the stuff for the Invasion transitions and stuff. And because of that, like that's how I got my in, and I've just been working with them for every single event since. And because of that, like I went from like, it was really weird because I don't think it happens to many people like that have been part of the FGC, but like blowing up between not COVID and COVID, or post-COVID, I should say. Where it's like I wasn't known at all by maybe more than like 3 or 4 people in the Cambridge local scene, because I lived by Cambridge at the time. And then post-COVID, everyone in Smash UK knows my name. What the fuck is going on?
Everyone knows who you are.
Like, I'm gonna have to like remember so many tags because people recognize me already. What the fuck is going
on? Crazy.
But it was nice being treated the way I was treated. Like at like events the first time, people were very accommodating, like looking forward to meeting me. And like Team Regen was like very happy with me as well, like always like speaking good of me, like and saying like whenever a trailer from mine like went up on the screen, they'd say like, that's that guy.
That's the guy that's done it.
So I got the claps, and it was always nice. Because like usually I'm just used to fucking like being in my fucking room, like huddled up fucking like hours and hours and hours. I make that fucking video, I post it, and like just having to go like, whew. But like in this, it's like now it's like I get it done, I send it to like TR or like whoever, TR in this scenario, and then like I get to wait for it to be shown at the event. I get to see the live reaction.
Everyone,
that shit's so gang, man. That shit's so fun. I'm like always going up and down between the fucking TR desk, being like, yo, do you know when it's showing yet? Like, where are we at in bracket? And they're like, it's gonna play just before grand finals. I'm like, and what are we at now? Like, they're like losers quarters. I'm like, fuck, I've got like a whole hour, man.
So,
like,
you got another hour to go.
So that's how I got involved with TR, essentially. Nice. I know it's a long story, but
no. Again, appreciate that's it. So I guess obviously we will transition on to this year's event. So I'll share some of the posters and stuff, but this year's event, obviously, there was a lot of work that you did. There was like
really? Do you think so, man?
Absolutely shit ton of work that you
I
did.
got like my siblings' lanyard right here, the
Oh, that's
spectator
it.
one.
Also, did you design all the lanyards and
I did the
everything?
lanyards as well, of course. I did
Yeah,
everything, man.
Same. I know the lanyard grind. I know the lanyard grind. I gotta say, like, for versus fighting, I pretty much like all like the creative stuff you see. I do all, and then I do photography at the event as well, and
Oh,
upload
damn,
YouTube
man.
videos and all the rest
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just one of
So
those.
you're no stranger, man. You're no stranger.
I'm not. To be fair, I'm actually not. Like, and I say going back from even before the first, I say first versus fighting was 2012, I think. But I was in the scene before that, but like officially 2012 was the first one where I started, and it's kind of just ballooned because my background, I'm like a graphic designer. At the time, I was just going uni and all the rest of it, and then obviously playing the games and stuff. And I remember Jason DNA's in the chat, and he was like, "Oh, you do design work?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, do you want to design the poster?"
It was out there just trying to go like, "Shum, like you're mine now."
Yeah, and literally that's what it was. That's how
designers get snagged, man. Designers get snagged. That's how it goes.
At the time, I was just designing, but then obviously over time, as I say, like, you know, you kind of want to learn more and do more. So then I start learning how to do the video editing and the trailers and blah blah blah. And then there's a whole history, but again, it's not really about me. So but yeah, so I guess obviously you did a lot of work. I'm just gonna share the screen now.
I'm wondering what your favorite ones are now. I'm wondering what your favorite ones are. That's
so
always like my favorite question because there's 72.
Yeah, there's just so many. So I guess why? First of all, I think why the film inspiration. First of all,
well,
and then another question: why do so many? Because I actually couldn't believe how much work you did.
Yeah.
Because and time wise as well, because I know obviously in the lead up to versus fighting, there's a lot going on, and then you've got to do this, and then there's this graphic and blah blah blah. So I guess firstly, like, where did the inspiration come from in terms of, you know, the film inspired posters and things?
Okay, so I was on a road trip with my two best mates, BP and Bug, back in March, right? I've just been working like at this time, I was working at like a local cafe, like basically 5 days a week, just full time, so that I could like make some like nice income because I just finished uni in July 2023. And I was like, I don't think with my current portfolio, I'm going to make it into like a really nice place. So let me just like,
what were you studying? What were you studying at uni?
I did music and sound design. I did sound design, man. So like, because the idea was like, literally I had this back in like 2018, 2019. I was like, if I do music and sound design at uni and I continue doing hobbyist editing, like all throughout and all afterwards, I'm gonna have the audio and the visual, and that's gonna make me like an absolute monster car, like an absolute draw when like it comes to people who want something. And that's exactly why like people like Gimmer from VGBC have like hit me up because like they found out like, oh, I can do both. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, you've got to be. Yeah, it's always the feather in your cap to be kind of like multidisciplined. Like, yeah.
So like we're on that road trip. I'm just doing my 9 to 5, like at the cafe, and I booked a couple weeks off, like because I wanted to have some fucking time off because like my summer big breakup, so like I was just not there mentally. So I was like, I want to enjoy some time. I want to enjoy some vacation. And I've been doing like some like videos and like general practice, like editing wise, like over the last few months, like from I want to say November until February, where I made like I recreated some old vintage perfume ads using like Peach and Falcon, like 3D model wise, and then I made like the Invasion 2024 trailer, and I made an Irish trailer for Reunification. So I was like, sweet, like I don't know what the next thing's gonna be. And then like TR hit me up on the phone basically saying like, yo, there's gonna be a meeting like on roughly the 21st of March, like 2024, as if they had to specify the year. And they're like, so we're just gonna figure out what's gonna go on with Region 2024. We're in that cool, and then like Zach, the previous graphic designer, is still like in the team at this point in time before personal issues arose, and like he just chose to leave the team. Like all the best to him. Like huge respect for the amount of work he's done for Regen in the past. Essentially, like I was given that like paper trail to like pick up and just work off of. So like life is good for me. Like I didn't need to design the logo. But like we were talking, and then like they mentioned, but it was going to be held in the Athena. And they said like it's like a theater, a cinema, and like some other stuff. And I was like, theater/cinema. Let me think about this. And I was like, we could do some movie type shit. My sibling, younger sibling, is a graphic designer/artist, right?
Nice.
And they had been like on a small melee kick like last year/the year before. So they had like redone 4 classic movie posters, being Truman Show with Falcon, Uncut Gems with Fox, where it's like a fuck. It was a really good pun. Oh, I'm sorry, Lou. I forgot. There was House with Pikachu, so they called it Mouse, and The Shining. Think about it, like with Marv/ Fox, like Danby, whatever. So like immediately I was like, we could like use these like 4 posters as promos potentially. Like I could hit my sibling up on the phone and we could just like
just
like see if they want to like join. Like I'll make the trailer and they can do some promos. And then like immediately I was like, oh shit, like we could do like promotional posters for like the players, like the top players we're gonna get.
Because I know initially you started as like the player announcement graphics and stuff.
So like everybody was down on board with that shit, and like I was like, sweet, let me get to work on the trailer the second I'm back from like this road trip. So like come I want to say 26th March. I've got very specific memory, man. I need to get that checked. Like 26th of March. Like immediately I get to work like drafting stuff up. I'm pulling like different poster inspiration, like Clockwork Orange, like Barbie, like all this stuff, and I'm figuring out like how would this work into one single trailer, like where like all the posters go between each other in at least some regard. And like a bunch of them I didn't end up putting in the trailer, such as Barbie, but you would see it later on in the actual poster campaign. So like I get the trailer done. It's my first time doing like actual animation, like 3D animation. So I was really happy with the way it turned out. And I don't think it's even like not stood the test. I put the fucking works in, especially that bit where it's like a La La Land with Captain Falcon and Sheik. That shit looks good, man.
It's a combination of obviously Blender, like
Blender, Final Cut Pro, and Apple Motion. Apple Motion literally just being After Effects, but instead of paying like £19 every month, it's £40 one time. Literally the day that I bought fucking Apple Motion, I paid that shit back 6 times over, like with the commission. So like that shit's useful, man. It saved me at least £1,000, like from the last few years. Regardless,
because Adobe is ridiculous, but again, we don't.
Dude, fuck Adobe, man. I want to kill that motherfucker. So yeah, like advert comes out, everybody loves it. So I'm like, oh shit, like I think we're onto something here. And like we're talking with, or I'm talking like with the rest of TR, and that's when we find out like Zach's leaving Team Regen. So that means like all of a sudden I've got a lot more work to do, right? It's either that or Kara, the head of production, also has a lot of work to do, but I am more on the graphic side and she is more on the technical side of the graphic side, if that makes sense. Like stream running, like, and just getting everything working. So like all of a sudden I have to figure out, how am I going to do this promotion, dude? So of course I relapse back on the idea of like, we need to make posters to promote people, right? Because like people are going to recognize that, and if they don't, they'll like the design of it alone, because these are proven poster designs, right? Like Forrest Gump, like it looks good, it's minimalist, and like it's iconic enough. So like if people don't recognize it, they will like it. If they recognize it, it's the double, right? Like
instantly recognizable.
It tingles the brain. They're like, oh shit, I love fucking Notting Hill, dude. Like that's my favorite romance film. And if they don't recognize it, they think it's funny because it's got banjo and fucking like kazooie on a poster.
That's the thing. Just like slightly off topic, but some of the correlation between some of the posters and the characters that you've used is.
I was very
orange one is like obviously that one's pretty sick. There's some really like good stuff, man. But carry on.
So as it came closer to when Silence for Regen 2024 went live, I had already started to build up like a small bunch of posters, which I had made as a proof of concept. If you literally scroll slightly down to the Tech Chaser one.
Yeah.
That is Nightcrawler. That was the first one I made out of everything because it took the least effort, right? I just went into Blender, lit up Falcon's face, and then like framed it the right way.
Yeah.
And then put it into Apple Motion, into the Photoshop. I still don't know how to use Photoshop, but like I did all of these in video editing software. Every single one of these is in video editing software because I'm a fucking freak.
Crazy.
And like I made the Tech Chaser one, and I was like, this might be doable. I then made In the Mood for Doubles, or like translated it from 16:9 into 9:16.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I can make this work, right? So then I was like, okay, we're definitely doing this. There was another meeting with Will when we were like, okay, like what should pricing be for like people who sign up and stuff? Like, is there going to be like any like additional random like benefits that people can get, like a custom lanyard? And I hit them with the idea of Early Bird Plus, which I am a huge fan of the fact that it worked out. Essentially, the idea was for 100 people, limited, just whoever gets there first, they will be put on a poster, like a promotional poster with a bunch of other random people that also signed up for Early Bird Plus. It's going to range from like 3 to maybe 6 people per poster. And when the event comes around, if you are there, you will receive a poster that you are on physically. It will also be posted online during the run-up, so you can be excited and look forward to it.
It's gonna,
and we were like, it will. I was saying we should make it cost £15 more because we had to account for like poster, like printing prices, because that shit gets spent even more that you're like printing off.
Of course.
And like to play it safe, Kara and Will, and this is not a diss to them because I completely understand why they were like, let's knock it down to 10 so that we make sure like this actually works.
That works.
And like that we sell out of all 100. That all 100 spots in Early Bird Plus sell out in 7 minutes.
Wow, it's crazy.
So immediately I was like, okay, now I need to make posters for 100 people on top of all the people that I'm doing promotions for. So like the reason why I wanted those 100 people to get a poster is because I'm like a smash socialist, dude. In terms of like, I do not fuck with top players like that, man. Like they've had it too good for too long. They've been getting flown out to every single fucking event, and they don't even need to fucking like. Sometimes they just DQ. What the fuck did we pay you for, man? Like, excuse me. And like obviously they're getting like fucking like signage and everything, and like I'm sort of believable. The little man's got a fucking show, and I say that as the person who used to be the little man. In terms of back when I was at Cambridge, with dick all to show for myself, other than my awful fucking skills at Smash Bros. I was never getting put in the limelight, and that makes sense, right? I wasn't skilled on comms. I wasn't trying to do comms. I wasn't skilled at Smash. I was trying to Smash, so it was it hurt a bit more. But like I wasn't like super hyper famous just because of like who I was at the time. Or like anything that I had done. So I wanted the possibility to get as many motherfuckers a piece of Smash history for themselves, right? I wanted them to get a whole fucking thing designed for them, right? Because when they fucking like look at trailers and stuff, they're always going like, oh, it's MKLeo, oh, it's Meister.
It's the standard.
It's never fucking Fungus Chungus 12, dude. And I want Fungus Chungus 12 to have that fucking moment, even if it's not on the big screen.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like it's stuff like that because I feel like they would appreciate it more.
They do. Like, they always do. And like straight up, the responses that I had to all of these posters, like as they came along, I had like some people be like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for mine," because they've been seeing other ones come out, like Game of Death on the left, for example. They've been seeing stuff like that come out, and they're like, "Oh shit, I wonder what I'm gonna get. I wonder who I'm gonna be with."
Anticipation at that point. It's anticipation at that point.
Yeah. So like we had people waiting like all the way from like late April, and for some they got like the poster that was designed for them a day before Regen, right? Like because it was a long time. I had to stagger these incredibly well. I think I made 23 batch posters total, but straight up a batch poster would eat up 1 to 2 days full work. Right. I left my job doing the barista work like in early June, right?
Yeah.
so that I would be able to fully focus. But for a couple months straight up, I was doing full-time work and then going home, doing the trailer to begin with.
Yeah.
And then from there, like going home from
Yeah.
work every single day after like an 8-hour shift on my fucking legs,
Yeah.
and serving the stupidest fucking customers known to man, because like you didn't ask for oat milk.
Yeah.
And then immediately I'd just be straight on the fucking
Yeah.
Apple
Again,
Motion Blender grind.
I
So like I was like,
understand the grind,
this, I need to, I don't know if I'll ever have the chance to do something of this scale again. I
man.
need to straight up leave my job.
Yeah.
Because like I've been promised like some income,
Yeah.
like from Team Regen, and like hopefully I'll make some more like at the event, which I did
Yeah.
thankfully. Like it all
Yeah.
worked out, and I'm very
Yeah.
thankful that it
No,
did.
that's
But
sick.
I wouldn't have even been too mad if it didn't. Regardless, as I was saying, like the response towards, or the batch posters, as I call them, or the group posters, as the same person would call them, was phenomenal. And it was genuinely, I was more excited for a group poster to come out than I was a single person promo, because I was always so excited to see the reactions from all the people there. Like Austin Powers being like the first one that was released, I think. I thought it served like a pretty nice like introduction in terms of like the characters are going to look at least something like the ones in the thingy, and if they don't, it's going to be funny, right? Like it's a bunch of like generically like attractive women like in the back, like doing the different poses and stuff with Austin Powers in the front. But I was like, let me put that Kaz in, let me put Shulk and fucking Mario in. Because it's like at that point it combines the fantastic nature of Smash. This is the other thing about why I chose to do all the movie posts and stuff. It was a celebration of Smash as a crossover with different crossovers, right? Like all of a sudden now you're getting like Breakfast Club, like, and the characters look at least a little bit like each other. Like in terms of like Mithra being the sort of like flirty girl, Robin the sort of like goth one, Pitt's brunette and he's a bit like shy, and then like Ike's like the sort of like classic like quarterback fucking like guy, whatever. Like it's always a bit of fun for the Raising Arizona one, just to write. It's like you have two parent looking characters and then a baby character. It all works in some kind of way.
And I said earlier, like obviously the way that you've obviously thought about the characters that you're going to use for things like the correlation there with certain things like Jaws, Piranha Plant, for example, stuff like that, like just very sick, just very sick. Like just a lot of work.
Planning the posters out took so damn long. But for other ones, I was like, I need to put like, how about we do this one? Or like, how about we do this one? Certain ones like the Tarek show was just because it like, I wanted the Truman Show because it was like quite easy to composite, and like as it happened, like Tarek needed a poster, so Tarek got the Truman Show one. But for other ones, like obviously as we mentioned, Clockwork Orange or American Beauty, which is one that I love, where it's like instead of the girl like in all the roses,
it's bananas.
Bananas. Yeah.
Again, just the
you just gotta put in a gag when you can. You gotta put in a gag when you can. Make it relevant. Make it fun.
It's just really sick. So I guess so with obviously how long would you say like on, it's probably hard to tell, I guess on average would you say like one of these posters took you to like in terms of to create from like start to finish? Like I know
depending,
some are obviously more detailed than others and things like that.
So some of them are more detailed. You're about to get to the Deadpool one, which is on the left.
Oh my god!
So this one took a full day basically because I was learning a bunch of different shit in Blender, and the sense that like I wanted to create like the whole like shower of bullets. Obviously you have to pose and light like the thingy as well. I wanted to change the material properties of the Froggy chair, so I was learning how to do that as well. Like if you look at the ground, that wasn't from Blender. I should have done it in Blender because it would have made a lot more sense, but that was me just like creating like a texture and then like moving it around. I manually drew the lens flares in the back, so that took like a whole day. When it came to other stuff such as Titan with Corin on it, which is just up, it's the pink, just up a little bit. I think one more, Titan third one along. That took like a few hours, like maximum, because it was literally like getting the lacing, getting the pose, or like getting the pose, then the lacing, and then like I manually made like the earrings that you can see because she doesn't have those hoopies, man. And then it was just like a gradient colorize filter, and then I was basically done. I just put the text in. That was a day. So sometimes straight up, sometimes I was on fucking pace, man. I got 3 done in a day.
Nice.
If it was the solo ones, when it was the more complex solo ones,
or like
it's like I'm getting 1 or 2 done a day.
Models. Yeah.
And then when it came to the batch posters, usually I was like, this is going to take 1 day. Sometimes it was 2 days. Like the stray dog one was 2 days. It was the first attempted batch poster that I'd made because it was just an example one. So yeah, like it took a fucking while. And I barely made it like on deadline because like obviously I was doing all the other graphics and stuff.
And everything else as well. Again, obviously you mentioned about the obviously the stream overlays and all those kind of things. Like there's so much that you are involved with, I guess. Like so how was it obviously balancing the time between the two? Was it just all hands on deck pretty much all the way through, I guess?
It might be because I'm a psycho. I don't think it was that bad.
I think you are a psycho. I
would say that one because it was now my full-time job at the time. So essentially I was clocking in. I was clocking in, so it just makes sense.
That makes sense. At the time to do it.
I was really good at managing my time and managing my files as well. Every single like the file navigation system from like the Blender renders to the Blender files to the motion exports to like the everything, it was incredibly well done by me. If I say so myself, in terms of like I wouldn't have been able to make all of them if I hadn't made the file organizing system so well. On top of that as well, I was really good at pacing when I was making posters and which posters I was making and when I was working on the graphics and stuff, specifically because it's like we said we will post 1 group poster every single week, which means that like I need to book out like 1 to 2 days every single week to make a group one. When it comes to the solo ones, we were doing it once every 2 or 3 to 4 days, which means that I could stack up 2 solo posters, get a group poster done, do some graphics, and then like repeat that until I was like, let me stock up a bunch more on group posters, and then let me like stack up a bunch of solos so I can devote like a week or 2 just to fully doing the graphics and stuff, so that like when I'm in the space, I don't need to get out the next day. So like I was just doing that, and sometimes I'd wake up and be like, I don't want to make a fucking poster today, man. And sometimes I'd be like, I'm done fucking working on overlays, man. Like, oh my god. Because straight up, like I know it looks fine now, but like holy fuck, I hate working with logos at an angle. Because like the Regen like 2024
it's like
that. Balancing the fucking empty space,
just to make it look correct,
dude. Like it's so hard to find that balance because there's always going to be a fat fucking triangle just like sticking out. You can't put like a little thing either.
Empty space is there.
Oh my god, and it's just killing you from the inside. So everything's on slants, man. And I love straight lines, dude. I love my boxes and rectangles. So yeah, like because like as well as getting better at Blender as I went on, as you can see, like in the last bunch of posters, like if you can find, I mean, Napoleon Dynamite was one of the last ones. I actually manually drew like on paper all the fucking like Pikachu and
I think I saw a tweet. It was the Akira one, and I think
that was one of the earliest. I drew the crap.
and I was like, this guy is a lunatic. Like, I think the first thing that I saw from you for this year's Regen, it was the trailer, and I was like, I looked and I was like, nah, this trailer's ridiculous. Like, and I remember I put it in the chat at the time, like and I was like, yeah, this trailer's fucking nuts. And I was just like, damn, what am I even gonna do with this? Like, but I was just like, and then I think from then, obviously, I saw everything else, and
then it's like, oh shit, this is a whole event.
These guys crazy work. I feel like I say I'm old now. Like I'm old now. Like back in the day, like I would, because there was I can't remember what versus fighting it was, and it's similar to what you're saying earlier about like giving other people some shine. So I think I did like a set of like player announcement graphics, and I think I probably did off the top of my head, maybe about 30 or 40. So it's literally
Yeah.
how they play with sign
So
off.
you know how much this takes
Yeah,
from you, man.
yeah. I
You
know
how much it takes from you.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But I think at the time I was just like, I'm just doing it because it's good for the event, it's good for the exposure. And again, the people that will be getting these graphics are gonna appreciate it because
They're
naturally
gonna be
you
like,
just
oh my god, like
yeah,
let me
because
get it
naturally you
framed.
think it's like, oh, it's just gonna be, the typical like, okay, for example, oh, there's Daigo and there's this guy and there's that guy. But when they see their poster and their net, it's like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
so yeah, I understand
I love
exactly.
it. I love it when people who don't think they're big dog like that get like
Yeah,
a whole solo poster. That was
yeah,
like one of my favorite reactions to a solo poster, right? So usually these are like reserved for people like MK Leo, Mr. R. Mr. R got like
yeah,
a Deadpool one, for example. Like so there was Dimitri, who is an Irish legend who was in Canada for a couple of years. He's now moved
yeah,
back. To Smash UK's like absolute bliss.
yeah,
But like he was like, these posters are fucking sick, man. And I'm like, oh dude, you gotta wait. And he got Jaws. He got
yeah.
Jaws.
Oh, nice, nice,
And like
nice.
I was like, you gotta stay fucking prep, man. And he sees actually, he's like, Harthur, Harthur. Like we chatted like at the event, he's like, Harthur, dude. And then there was like a Vulgaris? Something like that. Whoever Raging Bull. Oh, Vondola. So Vondola got Raging Bull, which is on the right, for example. He didn't know that he was going to get a poster. He gets that shit. It's one of my favorites, man. It's
it's sick.
it's a Scorsese legend as well.
Yeah.
And like I love the way the lighting came out. Like it looks smoky. You can see like 4 characters in the background. Like you can see like Falcon and Samus having a chat, and Mario's like looking down for some reason.
Yeah.
But like I think that's a gorgeous poster. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I could see this shit like without me making it first, you know?
Yeah,
Like it's the double-edged sword of like if you want a job done well, you do it yourself. And then it's like, oh man, I wish I could have seen someone else do this shit, man. Like, oh, I wanted to see fucking Blade fucking Crumb, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I have that mentality as well myself. It's like I feel like you can just do the best thing you can if you do it yourself. So like I always try and I think that's why I end up doing so much stuff for like electronic photo essentially, because it's just like, okay, we need to learn how to do this. I'm gonna go and do it because it's like slightly off topic. It's like when we started, for example, first versus fighting was starting slow, like streaming was very early back then.
Yeah. Like 2013, like streaming, where it's like,
like
you're either in or you hear Twitch, you're like with the eye.
Yeah. So like we had started, and I think there's a few like technical issues at the time, and then like the next event is like, okay, like we've got the equipment, we've got the card. Let's try and learn. And I remember I think back in the time I was probably still working at Argus at the time, and like I come back home, I'll turn on the PC and I'm testing and doing shit, like, and then like every day, and then making small progress. And then I remember like Justin, I think he's still in the chat. He come to my house at the time, and like I was like, I think I've got it working. And then we were playing.
Dude, that shit must have been mind blowing, man.
It's MK9, and like I think we were doing it. It was going, and then like at the time it was probably like 480p, probably 25 FPS.
If even 24. If even 24.
It's a stream, and it's like, yes, we've got it done. So I understand when you say like, when you want something done good, you kind of do it yourself, and I think that's like my mentality, and it's just carried on into, I guess, everything that I do.
Yeah. As it should.
Yeah. Like obviously, there's so much the merch design as well. There's so much, and that you have control over as the creative. And obviously, it seems like you have a lot of control yourself in regards to the direction of the artistic stuff with Regen as well. So that's really.
Thankfully,
how do you feel like, I guess, in terms of the responsibility of having that, like?
Oh, so the thing is, like, I like a bit of ego with that shit, man. I'm a believer, like, that if you make art to any type of degree, be it functional art or just like look good on your wall art, basically, you should always want it to be like a little ego driven. You should want to fucking make this shit real good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when it came down to it, I was like, I could just make like 12 posters or whatever. I could just make the fucking trailer and just like have it be good, or I'm like,
yeah.
Or I can make it be damn good. Like,
Yeah,
or I can make it like everybody's thinking, how the fuck do you do that? I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
72 is a lot. Like,
yeah, 72. It's crazy. Like
and
I,
because of that, I think like it's not like the driving factor, because I don't think
mm,
ego should be the entire reason why you
yeah,
do that. Otherwise, you will just self-destruct, and no
yeah,
one's gonna like that, especially not yourself. But
mm,
when it comes down to like making good shit, it's
yeah,
like if you're just satisfied, that's one fucking thing. Like
mm,
you'll get the art done.
yeah,
But when it comes down to like getting the job fucking done,
mm,
right? Like
yeah,
fucking open cold. Like people will think like, oh damn, like let me fucking make like a movie inspired Smash tournament, and then be like, oh damn, like fucking Regen just fucking did that shit like 12-fold. I got to do something else. Because if you do shit like based on ego, and you fucking, or like do it with like the aim to like get a bit of ego from it,
yeah,
it means that everybody else is also going to want to improve if you do it right, if that makes sense at all. Like I
100%.
remember like there was times where like it was back in like 2019, 2020. I want to say 2020 actually, where I was like
Mm,
seeing like some montages put out by people. I was like, I could do better. I could do better.
yeah,
I wasn't better than them. Of course I couldn't, but they
yeah,
were so damn good. It made me mad. It
yeah,
made me want to be better and do better. So essentially, like I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I'm hoping that there's fucking little weirdos out there like myself,
yeah,
um, where it's like where we can fucking like hopefully inspire some people to be like, I can do a better fucking post than that. Like, I
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah,
like straight up, like he got the lighting wrong. Who the fuck gets the lighting wrong there?
yeah,
And I put a lot of fucking delicate care into that shit. So if someone's like that determined to prove me wrong, I'm trying to see it. I want them to be mad. I want them to
yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah, 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 yeah. I think,
I want them to see like Team Regen stuff that I make, and I want them to think like, oh, one, that's kind of good. Like, sure,
mm,
I can one up that. Let me one up that,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's so many. Like I'm very thankful that I'm not like in that sort of spiteful mindset
yeah,
anymore. But I would say
mm,
it's because I feel like I've earned my place now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I used to be mad as hell when I saw really good shit, because I was like,
yeah,
it
because
obviously boils from the insecurity of like, I'm not that good, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you just gotta fucking double down and do it.
No, no, it's 100. I agree. I feel you. I feel like I think, like for me, it's slightly different in the sense that like I think a lot of the, I guess the fire, so to speak, it's not that it's gone, but
Yeah.
it's because I'm old in life and
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah. No,
whatever else.
it tempers. It tempers. It
Yeah, yeah,
tempers.
definitely.
Yeah.
But there's still always an element inside of me that's like I still want to be the best and do the best because
Yeah, 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 yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's your work at the end of the day that you're putting out there, and it
Dude,
represents
as well, like you put out a piece of shit, your name's on there. No, thank
exactly,
you. I don't
exactly,
want my name on there. What the hell?
exactly. So like
Yeah.
I'm always of the mindset of I still in regards to like diversifying stuff and what dojo and whatever else, I still want to
Mm.
put out like good shit. And it's funny because I always say like for with the dojo circles, it's like I'm the humble design guy, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
do
yeah,
my
yeah.
design and this and that, and there's a large element of that, but at the same time, there's always going to be like, and when you see things out there that aren't good,
Oh, I
it's
get so
yeah,
mad.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
get so mad. I'm like,
yeah,
what are you
yeah. I'm
doing?
like,
Dude,
why
don't
why have you done this? Like, what possessed you to put
Mm.
this there? And yeah, like I'm always like I'm not like a hater, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah. No,
Mondo, like
mm,
how do you look at it and say, okay, this is fine. I'm
yeah.
gonna post it on Twitter now. This is gonna promote my event. I'm like, no.
I can always give understanding when it comes to certain thingies, right? So it's like
Mm,
in the same way that we're like, oh, we're designers, we don't need to be getting top 8. Like,
yeah,
oh, like fuck it, like
yeah,
you knocked me out a bracket, but like your ass don't know how to mask, man. But like on the other
yeah,
side, now you have like TOs with no like graphical expertise. That's cool, right? And they
yeah,
don't have the budget to like spend on artists
yeah,
and
yeah, no,
stuff.
yeah,
That's also cool, right? They put out some piece of shit art. That's cool, right? That is functional art. You
yeah,
are getting it done because you just want to say there's a
yeah,
goddamn 16-man tourney in fucking
yeah. At this
buttfuck
time,
nowhere,
yeah,
Wales.
yeah,
Come, right?
yeah,
Like, this is going to happen, right? They don't need to put lipstick on a fucking pig here. They're
yeah,
just saying, here's a pig,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Get over here. And people will sign up, right? But when it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
like into like, we're really fucking, we need this to be successful or someone's going in the hole.
yeah, yeah,
That's when
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, why are you putting out pieces of shit here because
yeah, because
I
everything,
would.
everything is a representation of like
Mm.
the event or the organization and things like that. So like,
And about like, in my opinion, it's also how you hold yourself, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I'd say like it represents you and your work, like.
mm,
And like for me, like I think with everything I do, like outside of like the
mm,
FCC as well, like I've got like children's books and blah blah blah. I always try and
mm.
put out the best shit because it's literally with the books, it's literally my
Mm.
fucking name on the front of the
Yeah,
book.
exactly,
So it's like
man.
I can't be putting out bullshit in it. So it's like it's just one of them ones, really. It's just one of them ones. But now, so
Mm,
that's it. So I guess obviously with doing all of this work now,
mhm,
once it's all done and where regions out of the way, obviously successful event. Shout outs to
mm.
everyone involved with that event. What do you do like next? Where do you go? Like what? Is next year going to be another madness? You going to calm it down, or like where
I
are we
think I've
going from
got I
here?
think I've got issues, man. I can't stop. Right? The second that like obviously the whole regen thing was done,
Yeah,
I had like a really good gig lined up
nice.
where I made the pitch deck for a potential upcoming film. I'm under NDA, so I can't like say what
Yeah,
film
yeah,
it
yeah. And all
is
that.
or
That's
anything
crazy.
about it. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because that was because of all the regen posters,
Oh
right?
wow, wow.
Someone found the fucking posters and said this guy knows movies and he knows
Yeah,
design. Like he can
yeah,
fucking make all this shit. Let me get in talking like with like my higher ups and they'll get to talking with him. So I worked with working title like on that stuff. So like that took me from like September till October. And then like October, I was like, fuck it. Like I could just make like a quick little ad for like the Regen Posters website. Let me fully commit to 3D animation, right? So I did like almost the entire thing like in 3D animation. Um, and that shit felt good. It was like a nice 30 seconds long, and like I'm not mad as hell like at like how it came out. There's a few bits I could like polished up, but like this is where I was like, okay, like right now we need to get back to earning some money for the sake of it. And like there's no point in polishing up stuff that people are going to see one time, maybe visit the poster like thingy one time and then like call it quits.
yeah.
So like I put out a product that I'm not unhappy with because I advanced so far on my 3D animation, but like
Yeah.
it wasn't like perfect. But it's good on the portfolio, I'll show that.
Yeah.
Right now I'm making my show reel so that like I can get busy applying to like other stuff now that I've got like a lot to show.
Yeah.
From that, like I've already got like a personal edit planned because I want to try and get like at least one done every single year.
Yeah.
And because of all the posters this year, which I would essentially sort of call a personal edit, like
Yeah.
I want to make one. I want to make one, and now I've only got like a month and a bit left. I'm like, fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's sick,
I
man.
also have already planned out the entirety of the next fucking Team Regen events trailer.
Nice,
It's
nice,
going to be style around fashion. I want it to be
okay.
I want it to be like a photo shoot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just let you know because it's fucking like it's like this
No,
is
that's sick.
sort of
That's sick.
man,
That's
like
sick.
it's not
Oh,
the most like if there were thousands of people I'd be like I'm
yeah.
but like I've got like a bunch of different issues of Vogue that like I'm just like searching through and I want
Yeah.
like a bunch of different Smash characters just fucking
Yeah.
like looking over like it's a prestigious like jewelry ad or fucking
Yeah.
like
That's sick.
all that stuff and it's gonna like I've already got like so many assets for
Yeah.
it. I just need to like get around to it, but I need to like post all the fucking
Yeah. That's sick.
posters first and stuff.
That's sick. No, it's really
Yeah.
inspiring listening to you, to be honest, because I think like just where you draw your inspirations from and things, and just seeing that
Mm,
like your passion for what you do comes across like
mm.
naturally. And I think maybe I'm a little bit more jaded nowadays and a little bit
Yeah. No, but I get
but
it, bro. I
it's
get
so
it.
it's enlightening to like
Yeah.
listen to you and hear like obviously what's next, because again obviously I'm working on the
Yeah.
next stuff for versus fighting next year and all the rest of it. So
Yeah,
again, I
man.
understand the grind. So it's just
Yeah.
one of those ones,
No,
man. But
straight up. It's like I might have I want to say 5 different Team Regen trailers planned out in my head. It's gonna
nice.
take years before I'm able to get to them,
Yeah.
right? But like
Yeah.
I've got so many just like
I love it.
bookmarked in my head.
Yeah.
I've already got the songs mixed and shit like that. It's not funny. Like
Yeah, that's crazy.
there's like a Steam engine in here, and like it's
Yeah.
always coming out. So I just got to work on stuff and work on stuff and work
Yeah.
on stuff, or it's like I just go insane, man. I'm like, I gotta make something, man. I gotta
Yeah,
learn how to animate. I gotta fucking do more motion design. I gotta
No,
animate a logo.
yeah,
Please, anything.
yeah.
I feel
Just
like
give
a
me
fucking
something. Just give me
I
something.
feel like a feral dog that hasn't eaten 5 days and just saw a big fucking rump steak. He's like, "Ugh."
Yeah,
Just all the time. I just want to
yeah.
fucking
No,
sink my
that's sick, man.
teeth in, man.
I love it, and I'm glad that like you were in a position to, you know, you obviously said you left your job
Mm,
initially, and that this is the passion that you can continue
mm.
after that as well. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I know from my experience, like back in not many, there's a few that can actually truly do their passion in terms of
Mm,
and make a living off it as well. Like there's
yeah.
like for me, like I still work a full 9 to 5 job as well as
Mm.
doing everything else that I do
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
to be
No,
in a
don't get me
position
wrong.
where
That is the aim, right? Just being in like an editing studio, be it for like advertising, like
yeah,
free animation. I don't care what, because I'm a Swiss Army knife. Like it
yeah,
could be
yeah,
anything.
yeah, you've got like the
Um,
skill set with you to kind of adapt and
yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
And
that's amazing.
this is like what I'm doing right now is the building block process,
Yeah, of
so that I
course,
can get
100%.
like that true like comfy living, hopefully
Yeah,
very comfy living.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it all comes off the back of this stuff where it's like,
Mm.
sure, I'm making ends meet. Like
Yeah.
I've got some savings as well, which I'm very happy about.
Mm.
But like I'm conscientious about like like how much time we're spending compared to like how much money we're getting out. Like not because it's like I'm not like losing sleep over being like, oh my god, the Smash is broke as fuck and the
Yeah.
FGC ain't paying either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
it's never really been about the money. The money is
Mm,
what allows
mm.
us to do
Yeah,
it. It's what
yeah,
allows us to do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'm just looking at staying afloat. Like well, not dipping into savings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I think wow, I think we have definitely learned a lot about you. I guess like your process as well. You're a maniac, as I say, salute to you and the work that you put in. And again, for me, as someone in a similar position to
Mm,
yourself, it's kind of, I think it's refreshing and it's inspiring listening to your story and seeing your work first of all as well. Because I think, as I say, like I'm pretty like long in the tooth when it comes to
mm,
doing this shit, and I feel like sometimes I not really complacent, but at the same time because
mm,
my true full passions aren't
mm.
obviously I'm always going to be the designer, I'm always going to be
Yeah, yeah,
creative,
yeah.
but then as I say I have like my series of children's books, I'm trying to push that and do animations with that and all the rest of
Mm,
it, so it's just what hearing like obviously your story and seeing
mm.
the work and stuff is just refreshing because I think we've not seen anything like this in my eyes at least anyway, so
Yeah.
like shout outs to you and obviously your journey and the process that you take, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the region stuff. I'm kind of scared, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so we are never doing anything this big in terms of like the promotional campaign again, because I will
Yeah.
probably die to some degree, especially if I'm actually working a fucking full-time job this time.
Yeah.
I think this is the only time we'll ever see something this big without
I
it like
I feel like
being multiple different designers being paid
yeah, yeah,
so much,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
this is not happening again.
yeah. I can't
And I
yeah.
do not even have the idea for the next one planned. It will
Mm.
probably just come to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I do know what's gonna. Oh fuck! I just remember what I'm gonna do now.
What you're actually gonna
Fuck
do.
me,
Oh,
dude.
oh my god.
Okay, but it's gonna be tame. It's not gonna be all of this shit. But I
Yeah.
might try and hopefully something along the lines of a badge posted again. I don't really want to do those top players, man. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
the drama when Meister
Yeah,
dropped out.
one of them backed out for
Meister
another
Meister
tournament,
just
like
signs up to this fucking Japanese tourney.
yeah,
Fucking,
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
already spent time like making this fucking
Yeah,
poster and
that's
everything.
gotta
Like,
been annoying. Yeah, I seen a
and
bit of
we,
the fallout at the
what a
time.
fucking
Like,
joker! What a fucking joker!
yeah,
So like, I'm jaded because I'm not trying to have my time wasted. Like, there
yeah,
were at least 2 or 3 people who just dropped out after I put fucking days of work in.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. It's
with not
not.
even like a sorry, man. Like, it's
Yeah,
just,
because
it's like
again,
whatever.
they are top players and they're there, and it
Mm.
doesn't really matter when they
Yeah,
burn
yeah,
the
yeah.
little man.
Because like
Essentially,
at the end of the day, like another 20 is gonna be like, oh my god, please come though, please come though. Like we still
yeah,
need you for a fucking what's it
yeah,
called? Panda Global points. Please, oh no, not Panda
yeah,
Global anymore. But like yeah, I want to try and do the badge posters again, at least for like 50 people, because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that shit matters to them, man.
Of course, 100%, and they appreciate your 100%.
Mm,
It's like similar, like with at versus fighting, we had obviously we had quite a few community tournaments, and
mm,
like we obviously got the top 8 medals and the trophies for the community events, and there's some tournaments they didn't think they was even getting medals and stuff. So when they saw the medals and the trophies,
Dude,
it was
that
like,
shit changes lives, man.
yeah, and it's, I think again, just being at versus fighting this year, I don't know why this year was different than the others, but it was like,
oh, by the way, my siblings said they fucking loved VSF this year because
oh,
they're an FGC head. They love some Guilty Gear, they love some Street Fighter.
oh, nice, sick shots.
Yeah.
And again, just being there, that's what kind of inspired me to start doing community corner in the first place, is because so many unheard voices within the scene and people behind the scenes that do stuff. It's like, that's why I do it, and they're appreciative. And again, like, how often would it be that someone like yourself, which I feel like you probably get more light in the scene that you're in Smash Brothers? I don't.
Yeah, I get enough light. Even then, I've only been to like 120 other than like the Regen 20s this year. So like honestly, I'm like more of a vagabond than like an actual community member. But
well, I feel like someone like you, like, is a story to be highlighted, and obviously someone of like, you know, your talent and ability and stuff. Hence why I've been doing this for the last 6-7 weeks now, because
it's a great
people out there that need their voice
heard. Because the best stories you find them under a rock. That's the truth, man.
Exactly. Like, yeah, so I'm just gonna try and keep doing what I can. And yeah, but I say for now, I think I've taken up enough of your time for now. I think I feel like you could go on more.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I feel like we might have to have an off-camera conversation.
I'm definitely down to, man. Straight up, like, I'm gonna find some time. I'm gonna travel up.
Yeah, no, but thank you for your time. Before we go, have you got anyone that you want to shout out? Any of your social links?
Oh, I gotta. I mean, I don't really give a fuck about my social links, man, to be honest. I'm gonna shout out my sibling Lou for inadvertently giving me my fucking idea to make all these fucking posts and stuff. Nice. Big shout out to Will Savage, Kara, and the rest of the Team Regen team, because like I wouldn't be able to fucking make campaigns like this without them, because I wouldn't have anything to make them for. And just in general, all the fucking people who just gave me the fucking shot, like took the chance on me. Like over like the period of time, like where I was like growing and they were like, let me hit with a commission. Even fucking FaZe Clan, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. But I say for now, thank you so much for your time.
No problem, man.
Have a great rest of the week. And I know already your brain's gonna be going off thinking of ideas and stuff. I can tell you, madman. But thank you for your time. I say thanks a lot, guys, in the chat for joining in. I'll be uploading this on YouTube probably tomorrow, to be fair. I'll get it done pretty much straight away. Before we go, I have a few last minute things. Again, we have a dojo night coming up. 9th of November, Birmingham Belong. Start.gg / dojo night. Street Fighter 6 tournament. And there'll be casual games there as well. We've got rival scenes coming up 23rd and 24th of November. Shout outs to the SFO guys, Tekken and Guilty Gear and Street Fighter on Sunday. Also have Neutral Mania 2, 30th of November. Shout out to the guys up there in Scotland. Sign up. Start.gg / Neutral Mania 2. And then the last little thing I have to promote is obviously my own stuff. I have a set of children's books right here. LittleMiloBooks.com is my children's books. Recently released some soft toys on pre-order. There's a camera. LittleMiloBooks.com. Other stuff. And that's enough of the shameless self-plugging. For now, Harthur, thank you again so much. I'm gonna let you get off.
Thank you, man. I keep saying that. Thank you, man.
No,
keep it going. Keep it going. I love some community corner, man.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate you. But for now, I'm off. See you later, guys. Harthur, again, thank you so much for your time today and blessing us with your journey. And I'm sure we'll be in touch soon anyway. So yeah. Well, thanks a lot, man.
Have a great night as well, man.
Yeah, I will do, man. See you later, guys, everyone. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.